I'd want you to just tell us. You begin to mention on how you took some intervention with a certain young manager called Joseph Ndirangu, and then how this impacted his life later on. What is your intention? What is your inspiration for writing this bit for us?
What he has read. So in my book, and actually I was to mention this in my speech, it's not, I was about to say it's not 100% grace project. Yes, of course. It's not 100% grace project. I worked with a team. You need a team to deliver. This is not a joke. I know people will be like, it is not a joke. I worked on this book project in good months. And as I've said, I've tried the best to be authentic as possible. But to be authentic, sharing real life stories with a purpose. Yeah, what is the reason? That's where the educative aspect comes in. So as I say, it's not a 100% grace project. And actually you learn that from the acknowledgement section. Yeah. First, on the copyright section, there are people I've listed there who are directly involved in the book project. I'll later explain. Although I did 95% of the work. I'm sure maybe I'm not saying you guys are negative, but maybe there are those who are already thinking, oh, really? You're surprised? Inside your mind, maybe you have not expressed. I've not seen any one of you expressing. I'm very good at body language. So I've not seen any one of you expressing. But yes, I did 95% of the work, writing and editing for those 19 months till now, October. And okay, yes, what I was about to say, I'll not mention that for some reason. And then the 5%, there was a team involved. I'll mention them during my speech. I'll acknowledge them. But also, there's a lot of other team members involved. Even my virtual mentors, I've learned from them. To be the person I am today, actually, Faith has been one of my coachee, Faith here. I do personal development coaching. And I told her, she was surprised when I told her, I read my first personal development book in 2018. Just recent. She was like, okay, so 2018 is when you started reading books. And then, so how have you become the person you are? That is the question she directly asked me. I told her, I cannot remember. I should answer that. I should be answerable, right? I'll think about it. How have I become the person I am? But one of the ways is reading books. So those virtual members, virtual mentors that I've written there, but not only virtual members. So I learn a lot. I learn a lot from reading books. That's why I have a chapter, my chapter 2, of long life learners mindset, power of education. Yeah. So that is one of the things which have made me to be who I am today, and even to the extent of being an author. I never thought I would be an author. Yes, I knew I would want to write a book. But maybe when I'm there, 45 years age, so I knew there it'll be a bit settled. You know, I'm in my 30s, and you know that is, there's a lot of hustle. You are running up and down. There's a lot of development that you need to do. You have a young family. Yeah, you need, okay, I'll not mention the rest, but there's a lot. That's why you're not pulling up your socks, but you really have a lot of aspects to fulfill in your life. That's why you have the vision about your life, but maybe it will depend as well with your level of exposure. Now, back, I'm getting out of context. So back to that story. So why was the reason I was giving that background and where Joseph comes from, because you'll be surprised where is Joseph coming from. So as I was saying, I've acknowledged those people. There are two, I'll mention them later on, but Joseph is one of them. So I thought through, yes, I'm sharing my story, but what about people that I've interacted with, people I've networked with, people I've worked together with, that they can also share their story. I wish I could allow them to share a lot, but I'm hoping the people that I featured will also write books in future. I'm encouraging you. Joseph, you have to write a book, and the rest, I'll mention them later. I'm just mentioning Joseph right now because his story is what has been read. I thought through, and there are a few that I selected. I selected 4, Joseph being one of them, my father as well, being one of them. Actually, in that chapter of confidence, I featured 2 people. And now, the whole story you have read, it's Joseph's story. So I thought he would be best placed to speak about it. Do you want him to speak about it? So that was the background, why I shared the story. But I know where you are also aiming at is where it was my mentee, right? That was your aim, right? Yes. Now, Joseph, right now he's 28. You're still 28? Yes, he looks, he has a big, a bigger physique, yeah? He's a bit taller. So 28 years old. Back then it was 2 years, so you were 26 back then. And we used to have a mentorship program. I was the HR manager, and mentorship was one among my roles. I had to handle it. Not that because of course I love mentorship. It's not me who introduced it. Is it me introduced? Of course, we discussed with the CEO. I did not do it out of my own will. It's part of the HR job. Yes, it's part of the HR job. So out of this mentorship program, the one was involved in it, the initiative and connecting the mentees to the mentors. I was working together with a certain saying, okay, separate story, but I was working with another team member. You need team members. So Joseph and the mentees were allowed to choose who is the mentor. So it was not as directing. Yes, there are those we connected. We thought, no, this one, no. What have you seen from him? We also have to question, right? Because if you have people management skills, I'm excellent at that, then I know. I understand people very fast. Within 5 minutes, I've already analyzed. Anyway, separate. Let's put that aside. So Joseph chose me as his mentor. And we began our mentorship sessions. I had 3 mentorship sessions with him, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, but for me, unfortunately, because I love mentorship. And during the second mentorship session is when he mentioned that he was struggling with self-doubt, a lot of fear. And yet, it was quite we worked together in that organization, a lot of meetings would end at 4 p.m. They began at 6 a.m. And you are required to deliver. You have to speak in almost all of those meetings. And here is a guy, he's required to speak in almost like 5 minutes a meeting in a day. And he's struggling. And I know what it means. So back then, it was not long ago. Actually, it's just back in 2021. Me, I'm the most confident. So me, Niko sawa. So why can't I help with this guy? He has selected me as his mentor. I should face people. I'm looking at you, but I'm answering you, kind of. But I should also be answering people. And yes, we had our mentorship sessions. Unfortunately, there were only 3. The company, it was toxic, a lot of long working hours. We all got burnt out. It was burnt out. All employees, not only the 2 of us, all employees. Actually, they are here. The ones we were. Dennis, are you still burnt out? So at last, I quit. Actually, that company is what made me quit corporate. Right now, I'm working independently, and I'm afraid of corporates. I'm afraid. Poise Institute, is it a corporate? But it's an education management organization. Corporate, yes, we have to apply the corporate structures, of course. But it's a young company, still growing. So till now, I'm afraid of corporates because of what I went through that. I went through a lot of mental turmoil, a lot of burnout, a lot of work stress, which eventually led to depression. I was mentally ill. Things were worse. I've shared. So I'll not go into context of that. I've shared a lot of that story in the book. So later on, reason I featured now Joseph in my book, not because he chose me as his mentor. Later on, I saw through LinkedIn, the professional network, that Joseph was doing personal development courses. You see, when you do those courses for LinkedIn, then LinkedIn, the posts just come, they're automatic, right? Once you finalize the course. I saw an automatic update. And I was interested. I was like, this was my mentee. Now he's doing personal development. It's his own initiative. So I got interested and I said, by then I was already writing. So it was last year when I saw that update and I was interested. I was like, I'm not sure of his current status, but he's taking initiative. I was excited because I'm very passionate about people development. So I was excited that he has taken that level of initiative to do personal development courses. Yeah, so later I reached out to understand how is he doing? How is he still struggling with self-doubt? Yeah, I knew he'd already gotten a new job. He's still at middle management level. It's an extra role. Yeah, from where the role that he was working. So I wanted to know what does the role involve? How many people are under you? How is it for you? How is it progressing? And the story was amazing, brilliant. So I said, let me feature him in my book. Yeah.
That is so excellent because it means that you started to help other people in the struggle that you've had before, that other people who would face similar challenges, you began to assist them. So that is an excellent thing you did there, and I think that's also encouraging in the book. And I'm sure in the next few minutes, we'll be able to give each person a session. The last teaser that we'll touch on today as we read the book is in chapter 7, as we finalize this teaser session. So another volunteer.
It took a period of 1 year to accept that my child had Down syndrome, not because I am slow to accept realities or situations. It was because of lack of confidence as a first-time mother to understand newborn physical features. Our condition is mild from a physical outlook. It is hardly noticeable that Cindy is a special needs child. Her facial features are close to normal. She is very bubbly. Her cognitive abilities is superb. She's an intelligent girl. She walks, runs, loves dancing, and participates in all play and school activities that other children do. She is currently in PP2 school grade, progressing well in academics. She loves reading books, drawing, and painting. I always schedule time for supporting my daughter in her studies. I spare 1 hour of homeschooling every day. My nanny, Mrs. Mutindi Kilugu, who has served us for 5 years, has been very supportive of my daughter's growth and education. The most challenging part was for Cindy to learn how to write. This involved a lot of training and continuous repetition. By the time she was completing PP1 grade, she had mastered how to write numeric and alphabets. At 6 years, she has mastered 50% of speech, which has improved gradually through her curiosity to learn from the family, from watching educational cartoons, and training from myself and our teachers.
Thank you so much for that reading. We appreciate it. So, Grace, back to you again. As the author of this wonderful, encouraging book, why would you take time to spill it out plainly, openly, the struggle on how raising up a special needs child? We can sit. You're having trouble with the dress, we can bring the fundi immediately.
No, it's not funny. It's a complicated one. I had to be extra. It's a celebration for me. As I said, it was a complex project, but I'm happy it's finally successful. So back to chapter 7, power of acceptance. So that's chapter 7 is fully dedicated to my daughter. Where is she? She's there. She's the one who is wearing that red dress, almost maroon. She's there at the trampoline. She's a special needs child. Now, reason why we have been through a lot with my daughter. A lot, yeah? But does that take me down? No. Most people wonder. Actually, out of her, I've encouraged a lot of mothers. I've empowered a lot of mothers whom when we talk, anyway, I'm infectious, I believe. See? I'm not praising myself, but I believe I'm infectious. Not I believe. People tell me I'm infectious. So whenever we have conversations, so later on, they tell, I'm interested in your conversations. When can we have a next meeting? Anyway, then I tell them, now you have to pay for the next meeting. So even you, so if you love my infectiousness, please plan your finances. Do not just plan. I'm not meeting you anyhow. Yeah, to share. I've done the best to share a lot of educational content here. But now back to the story. Let me not run out of context. Cindy, power of acceptance. That whole chapter actually it's about Cindy. I've dedicated to her. There's nothing. Of course, there's about me being the caregiver, as the mother, and what we have been through. Now, most people, reason I share that story, as I said, real life story. Most people, when they get special needs children, and we have different types of special needs. Down syndrome is one of them. And actually one of the reasons. Should I get the second mic? Who is the second mic? I don't know what's happening. So Yeah. Okay, so one, yes, it's battery, yes. So, as I was saying, there are different types of special needs. Down syndrome being one of them. Most of you do not know. I believe most of you do not know about Down syndrome. Maybe you know, maybe you do not know. There's more awareness. There's a lot of education in that book about Down syndrome. As I said, I've dedicated it to my daughter. There are several others. The cerebral palsy, autism. And most people, when they get such children, they hide them. They either hide them, some can hide them, some their self-esteem is affected. And their lifestyle changes totally. And they always cursing themselves. God does not cast them, but they curse themselves. Yeah? And they ask, why did God give me a different child? But for me, I'm the most proud. In our family history, actually, no one, there's no special needs child. Even go to the true dad. Even to the great grandparents, there's no special. I was the first one. But why? Why? Because I'm special. I'm special. I'm special. Then look at the challenges and the adversities I've shared in our village. Not only in our village, in the whole sub-location. Who written a book? Dad. No one. I'm special. No. I know. I'm not praising myself. I have so much belief. But there's also God with me. Yes, I know. So God had to make me stand out. Not only through Cindy, but that's one of the avenues. And actually, if you go ahead to read chapter 10, I'll later mention it in my speech. Poise, the book, Poise Institute as well. That spirit-led project. It's a spirit-led project. I'm a God's vessel. There's a purpose. Actually, my chapter 10 is called Purpose. That is the title chapter. If you want, you can rush. Actually, it's in the first paragraph. You can, if you want. I'm just saying. But what I'm doing all right now, I did not have a revelation about writing a book, but I had a revelation of what I'm doing in my career right now. Because after leaving corporate, I had to pivot in my career. So I'm more into the training and development field. I deal with people and my throat. Right, I don't get water. Yes, I deal with people. My passion, my purpose is to educate, to empower, to transform, basically. People develop holistically. Yeah? People, let me quickly. Excuse me for that. Yes, my purpose is people develop. And I had a passion for it. Not a passion, I had a revelation about it. I've shared in my chapter 10. It's in the first paragraph. So you'll read it. So it's spirit-led. God to choose me to have a special needs child, purpose. It's just not out of, it just did not happen for wrong reasons. Some will say it's demonic, it's satanic. There's those who will talk against you. Maybe there are those who have talked against me and they're like, she's successful. Maybe there are those even laughed at me. They say, okay, she's doing well. Successful. I'm not saying I'm successful. I'm ni asla kabisa. Mimi ni asla. Now, there are those maybe who say that. Yes, she's able to speak. She's writing. She has invested. Blah blah blah. But she has a special needs child. Maybe there are those who say that. But you read through the chapter. There's what we have gone through since his intervention. Speech right now it's 50%. Most kids with Down syndrome, we rarely speak. You know that, as he's saying. Most kids. And we have been through a lot. She has gone through an open heart surgery. Actually, rock bottom here. I've shared all that story there. Through being in a new job. I just got in the end of 2017. We are 2018. I'm being told this is a child. She has a very major heart complication. I'm a single mother as well. A single mother by choice and very proud actually. Yeah, so do not pity me. But I'm proud. One of the reasons I'm proud, and I'm not looking for somebody. I did not say I was not announcing myself. No, I'm a single mother by choice. So there are various reasons for that. If you want to know, you can talk to me later on. Now, back to the story of now being a single mother. One of the reasons I'm proud, I've handled all that alone. Those adversities. Cindy, by the time she was 4 years, she had gone through 2 surgeries. One very complex. We had to be in India for almost 3 months. I went with my dad. My dad, like my daughter, you cannot do this all alone. But I've handled this. You know, most parents, when they hear that and they see pictures of Cindy, they're like, how? Grace, how did you make it? Grace, why are you talking about, how do you talk about this confidently? So to teach people, the chapter title, Power of Acceptance. Why? Back to the question of why. Yeah, I love that word. It's a powerful, you know that? Why is a powerful word? Those are the questions that you should ask yourself. Why is this? Don't be a crybaby. This has happened. Your child, you know, that's what most mothers, actually, for that Down syndrome, we have a group. It's called T21 Down syndrome, blah, blah. I don't relate in that group. I'm there. But most mothers, 98%, actually 99%, all of them, they are cry mothers. I'm not active in that group, honestly, because they're always discussing, my baby is 6, you have gone to Nairobi hospitals, you pediatricians, you blah, 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 sour, to share. But you know, people are different. I mean, my level of strength is different from the other person. So that other person is taken down by just a flu. They're afraid. This is a child who has heart complications. She has gone through major heart surgery. And now, what is the disease? She has pneumonia. I mean, that's quite dangerous. Yes, it is dangerous, but it is dangerous. But should you cry, keep on crying, or are you looking for the solution? Focus, accept, quickly accept, power of acceptance. Quickly accept, look for interventions. Look for solution. Because crying, whining, just sitting there and being worried all the time, always making calls to your parents, to your friends, and you're telling them about the baby status, that Down syndrome group, the reason I don't relate, you're always updating, this is the status of my child, sour, it's okay. But what is the step ahead? Because I'm a mindset-oriented person. I focus on growth. I maintain forward thinking. Yes, sour, this is the condition of the kid. Then what next? How can we intervene? How can we solve this? How can we make this child better integrate with the society? So I've explained all about Cindy. I've made a lot of awareness. And I believe, should I continue?
Thank you so much, Grace. We appreciate that. You can see that despite that challenging, like she's saying, parents who have to raise up a child, they really so much. But she chose to turn that challenge into something positive to help others, so that as she has built herself, she can also encourage others. I think that's why you're so passionate about sharing that story, to show that it didn't put you down and it's not something that you're looking at it negatively. It's part of your chapter in Weaving Up. So anyway, thank you so much for that. And of course, for more details, kindly take time to read the book like I've been doing, and I've really learned so much from it. She's a Vice President and Treasury Solutions in the Sub-Saharan African and entrepreneur. So you can see she has so much responsibility in the Sub-Sahara, but she's here with us in Kenya because book launch. So Faith, karibu sana. Thank you for your time. Come and share with us your encouraging speech to Grace.
My name's Faith Mutiga. I have known Grace for close to 7 years now. We met around in 2018 when I was working at 7 Seas Technologies. I was there just for a few months, then I transited. I think my entire life I've worked in IT, banking industry. So when I left one of the big green banks in the country, I actually did a retirement, early retirement in my 30s. I was like, I'm so tired of working. Let me take a break and go home. But then in less than a week, 7 Seas called and told me, join us. So I took a few months, then I joined 7 Seas. I worked there. Grace found me there. I think I was in charge of solutions and data at 7Cs. And then I later left for another local bank before transitioning to Citibank. Now, what do I say about Grace? There's so much to say, but I think a lot has been said. I have walked with her the journey in corporate. I have walked with her in our own personal journey, so a lot of stories in the book I can relate. She has shared them with me. But above all that is her resilience, because when she was talking about Cindy, it really, touched me. It's not easy, like she was saying. A lot of mothers who have kids, I'm a mother, I have 2 kids, one in, high school and another one in year 4. So I can't relate even the challenges of just parenting a normal kid, leave alone a, special needs kid. So for her doing that single-handedly, and of course with the support of her mom and dad, and hands up a lot to the dad, even going to India to stay with her, I was asking her, how did you guys do that? And she was like, he was my rock. So, for her doing all that, and there are a lot of work I know she did in corporate, because when I worked with her, and even after leaving, sometimes I would call her, and up to 10 p.m. she's still in the office. And I'm like, what are you doing? You need to go home. You need to have a balanced life. And she's like, I can't quit. I have goals to achieve. I need to finish my house. I need to do this and this and this. So I just have to keep putting more hours until I get to a point where I'm comfortable. Now, for the younger, because I can see a lot of you are young people who are probably joining employment or who've just started your careers. For some of us, we've been working for close to 15 years. We've seen the challenges in corporate world. Even running your own businesses, because I've also tried my hand in that. The thing is, all these challenges are part of your growth. There is no one time where you have, they say when you're getting out of one trouble and you're just celebrating, you're getting ready for another one. So there's no time life will just hand you anything on a platter. So when she speaks about, working with Americans and the challenges and the confidence, I've seen that. I've seen all that. Luckily for me, when I joined, a global organization, I was already sort of mature enough in that field and, in how I relate to people. So the transition was not as hard. But I could imagine myself or my younger self at her age working with those people, because there's already a perception that they form in their minds when they're speaking to someone from Africa, their perception is, and I don't blame them, right? Their perception is, these people don't know anything, but that's the stuff they've been watching on CNN, showing small villages somewhere, people who don't know anything. Until you speak your mind and you do it so confidently, then they realize, wow, these guys are even brighter than us, So, there's like she has emphasized in her book, there is need to build self-confidence. Do not ever doubt yourself. When others are doubting, don't help the rest doubt you. You have to believe in yourself for others to believe in you. So Grace, I had written a small speech, and I'm just gonna read it so that I don't, detour a lot in my talk, because I can say a lot about Grace. And today is her day. We are celebrating. This is not an easy project. I remember when she called me last year and told me, Faith, I need us to talk. I was like, all right. So we went for coffee. And she told me, I'm writing a book, and I want you to participate. I was like, whoa, that's something I've been wanting to do for so long, but I don't have time. But it's not that I don't have time. I just think I just don't have the commitment to start, because you all have time. She has 24 hours, the same 24 hours I have. So for me, I feel this is something challenging. She has challenged us to also go on and write our journeys. There's so much I can also put in a book. There's so much you can also put in a book. And you're not just putting in the book so that you sell and get money, but you're putting it down so that others can learn from it. The books you buy, they're not just for you. You read, you pass it on to your children, to your sisters, to your brothers, you buy for them. This is like a lifetime investment that she has worked so hard. So in supporting her, you're not just supporting Grace, but you're supporting the people around you, the community. And even as a country, we need to get to a point where we're embracing reading. I saw her post on Facebook the other day where she put a photo and everyone was commenting, and nobody was commenting on the book, you know. And she was asking, why is everyone commenting on my photo and no one is commenting on the book? Does that mean we are a country that does not read? So I want to encourage all of us, starting with those who are here, let's start the journey of embracing reading. If you're seated in a matatu, in a train, you know, whether it's an audio book, let's teach our children, because a lot of them are getting lost in social. You give them phones, they're just playing on the phones, they are not reading. So we are killing what was handed down to us. And thank you, Grace, for trying to back that culture even through your book. She's quoted me on the second chapter on continuous learning, the importance of continuous learning. Because I was telling her, I still wake up at 4 to read. You know, in IT, like he rightly said, you cannot lag behind. Otherwise, you'll be redundant very fast. So you have to keep up skilling. So it's important that we also embrace that. Let's buy a book, let's support her, but also let's support those around us by encouraging them to read. So I was just going to read my speech. Today is a remarkable day as we gather here to celebrate the launch of an extraordinary book written by an exceptional individual. And when I say that, she is exceptional. The things she has handled in our own journey up to now, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of commitment, discipline, and resiliency. Grace is not just a friend, but a true inspiration to all of us. Grace's journey as an author has just begun, and it's nothing short of being remarkable. That's work of 19 months and a lot more, I'm sure. Her new book is a testament of her ambition, her relentless pursuit of goals, and her unwavering focus. As we all know, achieving one's dream and aspiration is not an easy path. But Grace has shown us that dedication, determination, and focus, the impossible can be possible. And that's what she's made. For me, I thought, you know, like she was thinking earlier, or she was saying earlier, that she would write a book at 45, and now I'm heading to 45, and I've not written one. I'm beginning now to think I just need to be a little more determined and dedicated and committed to that journey too. In her book, Grace shares her insights, experience, and the lessons she's learned along the way. She has a unique ability to connect to the people. You can clearly tell she's a storyteller. With her own words, the book is a treasure trove of motivation and inspiration. It is a guide for all of us who aspire to reach greater heights. So may we all be inspired by her life, her experiences, and those of who she has quoted in her book. Grace is not just a go-getter, she's also a giver. She's a go-giver. She has always been generous with her time, knowledge, and I think that has been shown by what she has put in her book, and support. And her book is an extension of that generosity. It's a gift to the world, a source of encouragement for those who may be facing challenges, and a beacon of hope for all those who are pursuing their dreams, especially those who are starting your challenging corporate or business, you know the challenge that goes with that. So may this book be an encouragement to you. I've had a privilege of witnessing Grace's journey firsthand. Of course, I talked about how, when she called me and the discussions around the book, and I can attest unwavering commitment to that craft of writing a book. She never settles for mediocrity. Oh my God, she is a real choleric. You can even tell, she wants to be in control of everything, to know all the details, thoroughness, that's her. And that is so inspiring. So as we embark on this journey with Grace and her book, let us remember that her story is not just about her success. It's about the potential within each one of us to achieve greatness. Let's use her book as a source of motivation to chase our dreams relentlessly, just as she has done. She has shown us the way. Let us follow and let us not give up. So let's raise our glasses. For those who have your glasses, please. If you have a cup, please raise your cup. Let's raise our glasses and our cups to Grace. a true go-getter, a remarkable friend, and now an inspiring author. Congratulations, Grace, to this incredible achievement. We can't wait to see the positive impact your book will have on all of us and our families and friends. Cheers to you. Thank you, everyone, for coming out to support Grace and being part of this special occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Give a hand. Give a good hand. Thank you so much for inspiring speech, encouraging us for your friendship with Grace Faith. Thank you so much. That it's not a one-man show. It's not a single day journey. It's a process. And it's all details. But that's why we're here to support. I'd like to invite the next speaker to come and give a speech because of their special relationship with Grace. I would like to invite Ndirangu Joseph. Kindly come. Give a hand for him as he comes. And he's also dressed sharply, ready for the occasion. I hope you're not going somewhere after this, or you're just, it's only this. It's only this. You see, it's very special.
So indeed, Wesley, it's a bit special. My name is Joseph, being featured by Grace in one of the chapters, and it's more of confidence. And for this, I'll just read a speech, and then I'll just make some few comments at the end. So good afternoon, good evening. So it's my pleasure to speak to you all today on this special occasion where we've come together to celebrate the accomplishment of our esteemed colleague and friend, Grace. We are here not only to applaud her successful journey, but also to acknowledge the significant impact her book and body of work will have on our lives, our society, workplaces, businesses, and life for years to come. Today, I would like to share a brief insight into my personal experience and contribution towards Grace's book, and more so the topic on confidence. I speak from a position of close collaboration with Grace, as I have had the privilege knowing her as my HR manager, as a mentor, and also a supportive figure for both myself and others fortunate enough to receive her guidance. I know that Dennis and Abdul and Paul can attest to that, together with Wesley. I still vividly remember the first time I encountered Grace. It was at my previous workplace, where she was a HR manager. And as you know, when one joins the organization, you have to be inducted by the HR, that is introduction to policies, the workflow, and all at large. So Grace's role involved more of introduction of employees like myself, and she used to provide us the necessary support to excel in our respective roles. During my time working with Grace, there was a pivotal moment that truly exemplified her mentorship. It occurred during the launch of the mentorship program. It was on the fourth quarter of the year. That is, at the end of the year, when the company had enrolled that mentorship program. Apparently, to just give a small story there, so I was finance department. I was working with Paul. Paul was also a member in the department. But then again, I had two managers. But then again, also having managers there, I saw that since the managers were providing me with all the work that should be done, all the advice on how you structure yourself, you pivot yourself to work. But then again, I needed a person who would motivate me rather than my managers, because I was so used to them, and I needed an extra figure, more knowledge. So Grace came in. So when we started the journey with Grace, so the first time that we met was she settled the environment quite soft for me. And the first question was, Joseph, where would you like me to assist you? So I figured out, and the first question that I told Grace is that as a new person, as a new employee, as a new young person in the profession, at times you find some challenges interacting with other people. You find it rough, trying to do the work, trying to stand out there to ensure that you also meet the other KPIs of your job. And more so, how do you grow how do you shape yourself so that you can pivot yourself to the coming afters? So that's when the great journey began. So the second sitting that we met with Grace, I told her I would like us to speak about a topic. And I told her, one was imposter syndrome. That was what we were supposed to speak about it. And what Grace told me is that, yes, Joseph, I know that this is a very, very, very crucial topic, especially to us and also to myself. And this is what brings about fear. Especially for the young people, we fear our managers up there. Especially for corporate, we do not have the room to adjust. We always fear our bosses, what will they say and stuff. But then again, with the time, Grace brought me to understand, Joseph, you have to take this work. I know it was quite a lot of work. It was intense work, a lot of meetings. From 6 to 6 and even to beyond. But then again, Grace was really of help to me, including to my fellow colleagues from my previous job. So with the interaction with Grace, it was like a month, and then I did move to another organization. So she helped me a lot. I would say I would not be standing here were it not for her. I would not get the job where I am at was it not for her. So with my current job, I owe so much efforts that Grace has worked on me until to now. Going on, I would like also to maybe just put it to you across outside there. I know that you have had this piece of copy, that's Poise. But then again, after this, what will you do with that book? It's good that each and everyone will go with a copy. But then again, where will you take that copy? So mine, I'll take it as a challenge. Each one reach one. If you have that book, share with your neighbor, share with your friend, share with your colleague, share even to the person who is next to you. It's called share of knowledge, and with knowledge come great achievements. So mine is to thank you, Grace. It's not. I think this is just the first journey. So I'm coming again for another version, another book. I hope so. This is just the first beginning, and more to come. Thank you so much. God bless you. Let's cheer up, and cheers to you, Grace.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Joseph. A good hand to Joseph. Let's appreciate him. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing that with us. The other person I'd like to invite on stage is none other than Dennis Henry. He's not from England. I know he has these two English names, but I can assure you, he's very much one of us. So a warm welcome to a technology consultant, a friend of mine, who worked together also with Grace, like he has mentioned. So I'd like to invite Dennis and running Grace's launch. Hand to him, give him a hand.
And I was in charge of technology, she was in charge of HR, and she's one of those people, if you ever had an opportunity to work with her or be around her, you'll know how well she's organized, she takes notes, she's well prepared. You can come to Grace's desk and ask her, "Hi Grace, do you have a moment?" And she'll just open her diary and just see the way it's full. And I used to be proud how she was organized. She'll tell you, "I can only accommodate you on Thursday, and it's on a Tuesday morning." So I'm like, fine, I'll take that Thursday. And one of the reasons actually was because our conversations would not be 15 minutes or 20 minutes. We used to have long conversations, and we would veer off from work, but mostly would focus on what basically was a meeting about. And one of the things I noted about Grace was she was very dedicated in what she did. She was well organized, and anytime you tell her, she would take notes. I was just stare at her me, I'm a technology person, so I just walk into a meeting, take everything in my head, and then walk away. And then I started thinking, what was the meeting about? What am I supposed to do? And then I'll go about and. But Grace will take really nice notes and everything, and I'll be talking to her, and I'm just looking at her and writing. And that's the day I asked Grace, do you know you can become a really good writer? And she was like, really? She thought I was bluffing. And I think from that day, I always thought of Grace. And it was a great opportunity when she called me and she told me, like, you know what, I want to write. I was very happy. I think I was taking a walk. I think I normally an hour or 2 hour walk in the evening. So she called me when I was on my walk. I was like, perfect time to talk. And we really did talk about it. And I was very happy. I was very impressed that she's doing that. And one of the topics we great, and that's something that I think we both shared, coming from an organization where there was so much demand of you, where the company had a very high turnover and the management required so much of you. And how do you carry yourself? How do you dedicate yourself when it comes to work, with your passion, your dedication, everything, to make sure that whatever you've been given, you see to an end. And that's one of the things I saw with Grace, because she was very dedicated in what she did. And I'm even proud about her book, because I know she took the same dedication when she was writing the book, and everything about it, I'm sure I'll be proud. Personally, I've not gotten an opportunity to go through the book. I will go through it today, but I know I'm mentioned somewhere around the topics of it and stuff, and I know she puts so much into what she does, and I'm really proud of her. I'll give a speech. I try to think of anything to write. Sorry, and I think there's so much I can say about Grace. I'll just come here, and whatever will be on my mind, that's what I'll speak it out today. And I'm really proud of you, Grace. And let's all come together. Let's support Grace. I know this is just her first, and the first of many, and we'll always be here to support you, Grace. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Excellent. A good answer. Yeah, we know them very well. These technical people very well. Don't like to take notes. Then when you go for other meetings, now they're relying on Scrum Masters to assist them, to align their thoughts and plans. But it all works out. So Dennis is a good friend of ours, and I'm glad that you're able to support our friend as we move on in this chapter of her life. Thank you so much for that. I'd like to invite a special person to give also a speech. We finish up as we wrap up. And I would like to invite Grace's dad to come. Mr. Boniface Nzioka, kindly come and confirm if this that Grace is saying are true or are all fake news. So kindly come. Karibishani sana mzee. Karibu. Welcome. Very welcome mzee. Good hand. See, Cindy is happy for Granny. No, nafurahia. Mjafurahia. Karibu sana.
Haleluya. Bwana asifiwe. Haleluya. Kitu la kwanza ni kufurahia kuhudhuria hii occasion ya mtoto wangu Grace. Na washukuru sana, na Mungu awapatie nguvu. Ya pili, kuhusu Grace, ni mtoto wangu wa 3. Na vile mmesikia kitabu yake, kuongea kwake, Grace is very special than other children wakiwa 5. Kwa nini nasema hivi? Nikiwa naongea na yeye, most of time akija, huwa tunakaa chini, tunaongea, na kila wakati huwa namwambia, you are the luckiest girl in the world. Kwa nini niseme hivi? Mimi isipokuwa kumsomesha, sija struggle hata siku moja kwenda kuongana kwa kampuni. Si mnaona mtoto akienda hii hami anaonganiwa 200,000, si ndio hivi? Hata kwa makampuni si ndio hivi? Hakuna siku moja mimi ngaenda kusimama kutafutia Grace kazi. Ni yeye mwenyewe anajitafutia. Nilimsomesha akapata degree, na yeye akajisomesha akapata masters na pesa zake. Na kila wakati nikiongea naye huwa nampatia maneno ya kumtia moyo. Maana yake Grace is a good performer. Grace huwa nasema hata kwa marafiki zangu, ni mwanaume na nyusu, msimuone namna hiyo. Kwa vitendo vyake kwa wazazi, kwa kuongea naye, na kila wakati nikifanya jambo huwa namuita Grace, wacha wengine, namuelezea, na huwa hananiguide. Kama vile nilikuwa na nikifanya mambo zangu pale mbeleni, nilikuwa na consult mamangu, mmesikia akisema grandmother, na yeye amechukua wisdom wa grandmother yake. Alikuwa anaharibu wakati mwingi na nyanya wakiwa sikuwa najua wanaongea nini, wanaenda huko bedroom. Alichukua wisdom ya nyanyake, na Grace is born a leader. Kwa nini niseme hivi? We are in the world of revolution. Mkiangalia siku hizi watoto wetu na dunia na Kenya vile inaenda, dunia imeharibika, Kenya imeharibika, watoto wetu wameharibika. Sababu ya nini? Ya ile environment wako, na uwezi mtenga na wale watoto huwa wanakaa na wale wengine katika village yako, katika estate yako, na uwezi mtenganisha. So tuna wakati mgumu sana. Sasa nyinyi young generation, mkikosa kujichunga, hawa watoto watatukalia huku mgongo, na kutakuwa hakuna wanaume wala wanawake. Munanipata? Sababu ni dunia, we are in a change, and the changes always brings development. Changes always brings competition, na mpaka ukubali, upende usipende, mpaka iwe hiko. So we got to be very careful. Kwa dunia ya sasa, ushetani umeingia kwa watoto wetu. Mnasikia Jakahola huko, Jakahola, si ndio hivi? Na huko mtoto huko mtuma huko, lakini utastukia ameenda huko, utamfanya nini? Na yeye amekuwa mkubwa. Ni wakati wenu sisi, nyinyi wasasi, to mentor your child. Hata kama anafanya mbaya, endelea kumwambia ule ukweli uko, sababu ukimwachilia atakuwa mzigo kwako. Ni dunia inaenda hivyo, na hakuna mtoto mzee kwa mzazi. Hata kama ana nywele nyeupe kama hii yangu, uongo. Mtoto ni mtoto. Siti kumwambia na usichoke, sababu ukimwachilia mzigo utakuwa ni wako. Na ndia tia mwene wakamba ndia ni jao ni ya mwenyewe. Hata kama yuko vipi, ni mtoto wako. Hawe ni kiwete, ni mtoto wako. Sasa ufanye nini? Mtoto ni baraka, mtoto ni malaika, umepawa na Mungu. Kwa hivyo tujihadhari na ile mashahiko. What I can tell you, manake you are the young models. Kila wakati ukiamka asubuhi, shukuru Mungu. Kitu la kwanza, amekuacha uhai. Ya pili, kila ukiamka chukua step forward. Manake kuna leo na kesho. Na kila chochote unaofanya, kama ni kazi unafanya, be serious of what you are doing. Na yeye Mungu hakunyima, sababu ya ile bidii yako wewe. Mimi waambia watoto wangu, usingizi ni umaskini. No tuluni chao no cha. Dunia saa hii imetawalwa na mambo ya hii tunahitaji pombe, bangi, nini hizo vitu, si ndio hivi? Miadharati, Kiswahili inasemwa namna hiyo, si ndio hivi? Na ikiwa namna hiyo, sababu hatuwezi efuka na hiyo maneno kwa vile iko, tufanye nini? Kitu la kwanza, omba Mungu akuonyeshe njia ya kupigana na ushetani, sababu sio kupenda kwako, sio kupenda kwangu, na ndivyo dunia ilivyo. Ya pili, tia bidii pale utaweza kupigana na hii njanga. Saa hii waambia watu, mtu hakusaliwa maskini. Umaskini unaletwa na mtu, utajiri umejaa hapa mkononi mwako. Inategemea ile akili yako wewe, vile unapopanga mambo zako, vile unaendelea na mipango zako, na uwe unajua hivi, leo sio kesho, na ukichelewa, ukikosa kujipanga, utapangwa na dunia. Mimi kusema ule ukweli na muambie, na bibi yangu ni shahidi, nilifanya kazi miaka 10 peke yake na garisain 24 hours. Tusichukue ile tabia ya wazee wetu, hati mzee anangojea retire, apate pesa za retire ndio anunue ploti, ndio anunue gari, ndio ajenge ploti, ndio aanze biashara. Ataweza kweli? Na miaka 2 kuisha, sababu zile pesa amepewa za retire zimeisha. Akutafuta kitu za kujitegemea kesho. Na watoto ni wangu ni shahidi, mimi sio mtu wa kuomba. Ni wewe mtoto unipe, ukikataa kunipa shauri yako, manake nina mali zangu na sitaki. Huyu Grace alianza kuleta tu pesa kidogo, aniletea, anapatia mama yake. Mwambia Grace, this is not the way to go. Wewe pelekea mama yako, mimi sitaki. Hizi uniletea, nataka uanze mambo zako. Sababu usiangalie mimi, usahau maisha yako ya kesho. Na pale utakuwa kesho, nataka uchukue hatua nyingine. Na wazazi wengine wajua wakisomesha watoto, ameuza kashamba, ameuza ng'ombe, tumeisha, anataka ule mtoto aanze kusomesha wadogo wake. Mimi sio namna hiyo. Hawa ni kumatia morale, na mimi kila wakati waambia waingie kwa viatu vyangu. Ule mtoto wangu ndio wa mwisho, Dennis. Simamba Dennis. Sahii anafanya degree ya lawyer, ndio wa mwisho kwangu. Na mimi umwambia, angalia ile nafanya, ingia kwa miguu yangu na utapata shida. Mnanielewa? Na watoto wetu nao kuwa nao unawazungumzia, na kitu wa kwanza uwe rafiki ya mtoto wako, ndio muelewane. Sababu ukimchukua atui, hata sikia hilo utamwambia. Mfanye na rafiki yako, atakusikiza vizuri sana. Kwa hivyo kitu la maana kwa sasa ni kupigana na janga la dunia. Huyu Grace kuhusu hii kitabu kuandika, alikuja akaniambia, baba, nataka kuandika kitabu. Kamuuliza Grace, unazungumza nini? It was wonder to me. Nikiimagine wakati ule nilikuwa nasoma, sikusoma zama, nilifika form 4. Vile mambo ya vitabu nilikuwa naona ni kitu ngumu sana, haiwezi fanya. Kamuuliza, utafanya namna gani? Akanieleza, kamwambia good. because you are good vya utafanya. Akaendelea, kila akiendelea anakuja ananiambia, namwambia usichoke, endelea na hiyo safari, utafaulu na Mungu atakusaidia. Sasa wakati amemaliza hii ananiambia anaandika ya pili, nilishangaa. Kwa hivyo mambo kidhi ya chuma na siandhi na mewa yasio. Na nyinyi si mna watoto? Kuna mwalimu hapa inaitwa cancellation. Mna ule mtoto amekuwa kichwa ngumu, mpelekee Grace, hiyo atapona huyo. Maana yake namuelewa kwa mambo zake, sio kwa nguvu, lakini kuongea. Anajua kuongea, anajua kumenda mtu. Alikuja akachukuliwa director wa secondary school nyingine iko kule nyumbani. Hata kama hawamjui, wakamchuzi akiwa nyumbani, akaja akaambiwa, na akawa anaenda huko kama board of directors, na akiwa mtoto mdogo. Na mimi ngawa nashangaa ile miondoko yake, lakini ni kipawa yake ya leadership anayo. Kwa hivyo kitu la maana ni kwamba wakati wa dunia hii utapambana na mambo mengi, na ushetani huko, na wivu huko. Tia bidii, waseme wasiseme, tia bidii pale pengine, omba Mungu atakusaidia na utafaulu kwa mambo zako. Ila tu hata kama unapata shilingi 2, weka shilingi 1. Hiyo shilingi 1 ndio itakusaidia maisha ya kesho. Unanielewa? Mimi nilifanya kazi only 10 good years, na sikuvutwa na mtu.